don't know. Maybe that's silicone. I didn't realize you can have silicone. Bless your heart. Don't do cheap stuff like that. If you're gonna do something that is approved by doctors properly. You know. For eczema, I use a cream. I use doctor ordered cream. It's in my YouTube video. I show the big giant cream that I use for my moisturizer and everything. It's really good. You should use it. How long you been single? It's none of your business. How is this any of your business? Like you're asking private things. Don't ask private stuff. Okay, I'm live on YouTube, guys. Welcome, guys. You are here. Salam. Hermon, welcome. Shukorina. Sophia, welcome. Dalak Shukor, welcome. Thank you. Tashiyo. Abdi Tbarakhet. HW, welcome. Love life. Welcome, you guys. Okay, guys, I'll see you in YouTube. Come and join us over there, okay? Here we can ask questions. Over there you can ask questions too. You can write the same way. I will answer to you there as well. See you guys. Dahlak London. That's my YouTube. Now we نخيد لنا أنتم English دي سمعون YouTube Dahlak London نخيد لنا ناو متو. Okay. Are we finished over here? Hi you guys. How's everybody? My motivator. Oh, thank you. You honor me with your kindness. You honor me with your sweetness. How is the filter in you TikTok? The filter, it made my lips so big over there. And this is the reality. And you know the eyelashes they put on me on the filter. I have to learn to do eyelashes. Eyelashes do make your eyes look much better, don't they? You look gorgeous here. Thank you, my love. Thank you. But I love the eyelashes. I know I bought eyelashes. I have them, but I find it hard. I don't know how to do it properly. Sometimes I get it right perfectly in one eye and the other eye looks. So I've stopped it for now, but I'm going to practice. We are going to practice. Metzinako. Welcome haddeshti. Share, subscribe, like. And as you come in, press the like button. It's like hi. It's like greeting. And thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Subscribe كاي تحمقوا share كاي تحمقوا وهي الحيلة. Wow, the difference. Exactly, right? The filter in TikTok makes your lips look giant. It changed the shape of your face and everything. Eyelashes are difficult. Yes, we're gonna do it together one day here. I'll show you how I do my eyelashes. I did find a good technique where I cut them in half because they're so big. And then the lady said, when you cut the eyelashes, you use the front bit to the back. I usually used to cut the front bit and throw it out. But she said the best way to do it is use the front bit for the back. And it works really well. But there's this special glue that I found from Amazon that is really, really good as well. So don't use the glue that comes with the eyelashes. Use the different kind of glue. I'm used to looking at myself or looking down. So when I speak, when the videos are saved, it look like I'm looking down. Sorry about that. I have to adjust it just next time, I think. Yes, my topic today is dating Eritrean men, dating Habesha men. We're going to talk about the positive and the negative. Obviously, we're not going to talk about the men back at home. We're going to talk about the man in Europe or outside our country. Because the one back at home is very traditional. You know, everybody lives a similar life, but the women have the community support, so they don't struggle as much with the way of life as they do here. But today I want to talk about dating. How many of you in this audience are who born here or been here for a long time? If you are born in Europe or you've been here for a long time, type had 11. Especially today I want to talk to people who've been here for too long. Yeah. I think dating is a huge topic for us, especially for Eritreans who who were born in Eritrea, we don't really know how to date. Dating is, it's not common. Most, yeah, I've been here. Okay, good. Share it with your friends. This might help. Also, it's my own experience and some of my friends' experience. I've been here for a long time, so you know, I'm gonna touch on some things. Obviously, the good guys. There are good guys everywhere. In other cultures, as well as in Eritrean men, there are some really good men, and we're not gonna talk about the good men because the good men are obvious and everybody knows what they are like. They keep their words. They don't lie to you. They don't cheat on you. They don't play with your heart. So the good are the good. So we're gonna put them to the side. Yes, 10 years is a long time. Yeah, especially if you've been in a relationship and you haven't dated. Yeah, for a while and you're going back into the dating game. Then yeah. So yeah. So anyway, dating in Europe is very difficult. There's a saying in my country. They said that kisha hasot we kisha ganzab. Men, obviously when I say men now, I can't generalize. It's not all of them. Not all men are liar, but in our community, especially in our Eritrean community, lying is like bread and butter of a man who's dating. They will lie to you, but when they lie to you, they will lie to you like this: I want to marry you, I want to have babies with you, I'm gonna die if I'm not with you. It's like that. So when I see something like that, normally for me, if it's not an Eritrean guy, if it's somebody else, I would say that's a red flag from the beginning. I'm like, whoa, that's too much. That's either a narcissist or a crazy person. I wouldn't give him a chance. But what happens usually is what I found happens is that I've spoken to other women, and also what happened to me is that when you've been here for too long or you were born here, you do not use what you know on the man from your country. You think like, oh, he's Eritrean guy, or he's from back home from my country. So you drop your guards, thinking that you're much more safer. But the truth is, there are players everywhere. There are players in England. There are players in Eritrea, and they have no mercy. Players have no mercy, no matter where they live, whether in England or anywhere else. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, she's saying that Dalai Kishkor. Unfortunately, I run the opposite direction. If I even see Habesha men, they don't realize the damage it causes when you, um, you know, lie as they do. But kisha hasot weka kisha ganzab. They believe that the only way to get a woman is to lie to her, and the way they lie is that because our women, they don't believe in casual dating or let's see and where like and let's see where it goes kind of thing. They always want to come and appear like they want to marry you. They're dying for you. They will lie to the extent where it's just like completely the opposite. They have no desire to marry you. They have no desire to date you. They just want to have a thing with you. But they will tell you how much they love you and how much they want to marry you. And sometimes it could just be they just do it for fun. And if you get pregnant, then they just disappear or or leave you. So if you were born here and you meet someone from your country and you think that if you were dating a white guy or a black guy here in Europe and you will think that's a red flag, I just want to say that's also a red flag when it comes to Eritrean men or Ethiopian, whoever they are. That's a red flag too. So unfortunately, the ones who grew up here, they end up with someone who was like, who wants to marry them, have babies with them, and they do. And then suddenly they're left with kids, and this guy is nowhere to be found, and they're heartbroken and they don't know what happened. They're like, but you said you love me, but you said you want to be, all these things, and suddenly that, I've committed to you, I'm with you now, we have gone as far as having children, and you are nowhere to be found. You see what I'm saying? She wants you to get better in English. What do you mean? Yeah, entitlement, yeah. They're entitled. They think that women have to be certain things. And they're traditional. So they want women to do all that, cooking, cleaning, and be submissive. At the same time, whether he could be the man that he can provide or not, he will expect you to be like that. Even if he can't be like his father, he will expect you to be like his woman. The sad thing is, when a woman says, I want a man like my father in our culture, it means like the way her father used to take care of her mother. But when they say, I want a woman to be like my mother, they mean like the way a woman take care of her child, unfortunately. Not all of them, obviously. I can't say all of them because there are great men too, like I said at the beginning, but we are talking about the kind of guys that you might want to avoid, you know? At the same time, what I have noticed is that when I have some women call me, you know, when things happen to them, wanting to talk about it or wanting to get advice, and sometimes we talk, like, you know, and what I see is that we have in our community what we call pick me girls. Pick me girls, uh, women who might be friends in your circle of friends. You might go to church with them or whatever, and you have a man, and they would come to your house trying to drink coffee or something and tell you, like, you know, you should be able to take care of a man. A good woman should be able to, you know, raise a man from the ground, even if he's drunk or is, you know, drug addict. She should be able to raise him. She should be able to take care for him. A good woman is who carries a man on her shoulders like a baby, you know. And these ones are usually the kind of women themselves do not have a husband, they're not married, you know, they don't want to have that life, but they just say those things in order to make you to be liked by men. We have pick me women, we have women who have embodied internalized misogyny in them. They are self, you know, they just let's not talk about them. I will talk about them a little bit later on. But can you please speak in Tigrinya? No, I could not. Fridays is English program. Every Friday we're going to talk about English. So what I want anyone who's dating a Habesh man or Eritrean man to know is that if you've been here for a long time, if you were born here, okay, if it's a red flag with other man, it's red flag with ours too. You have to be extra vigilant. Just because this guy is from your country, just this guy is Eritrean or Ethiopian, it doesn't mean he's not going to be a player. I can't speak for Ethiopian men, I can speak for Eritrean men. So if he's from your country, you still have to vet him, take time, and understand that he has a wingman or wingwoman who will speak nicely of him. The Eritrean players have no conscience. They do not care. They will rip your heart out from its place. Yes, they don't like women who are, yeah, that's how you know the players. They don't like women who's educated. They don't like women who are self-sufficient, because you're not easy to be manipulated to. So those are the bad guys. The good guys, the genuine guys, you know, they are precious. If you find a good Eritrean man, you are blessed by God and you are very lucky. They're very loyal. They are, you know, they're amazing men, but they're very rare. It's not very easy to find those, because the culture that we have, it's it still revolves around men being, you know, on top, and women having to submit regardless whether he's good enough to be in charge or not. You're expected to be, you know, the house lady. You're expected to be a housewife. You're expected to cook, clean, and do everything for him. If God forbid you stand up for yourself and you say no, you know, none of these things, you'd be seen as a you know, as not good. There are women who come to you and be like, you know, they themselves will not do what they're asking you to do, but they will tell you, like, if you were a good one, you could, they expect you, they say this thing where sab'ayan sabitit sarho, which means a woman is the one who's supposed to make a man. A woman is supposed to make a man. You are the one who make him a man. So you're supposed to, like, take care of him, support him, yada yada. And I don't agree with these things. So if he's not already a man when he comes to you, there's no way you can make him a man. Yes, there's exception to the rule. There could be a man who meets amazing woman and he wants to change for her and she's good for him and it works out brilliant. But if you think that you can find a man who is gambling and he's alcoholic and then you can turn him around, good luck to you. There are rehabs for that, you know? But good luck to you. Yes, exactly. So we have to be very diligent in what we do. Don't rush to get married, don't rush to have a baby just because you hear that. And they have people who support them, they have people who help them. This woman once called me crying in tears, and obviously not every man is like this, but she said that this guy she's been dating for almost 2 years, she have met his sister, his cousin, and his friends, and he has introduced them another girl too. So she would go and visit them as his girlfriend, and she felt secure and safe because he has introduced her to his family. But when she's home, when he go to see them by himself, he's taking another woman with him that he has introduced. These people told her nothing about it. Later on, when she discovered, and she called one of his cousins, telling her, like, because they were really close with her, and she was like, how could he do this to me? I discovered that he was cheating and having an affair. And she goes like, yeah, we met her a couple of times. She was like, what? You met her a couple of times? He brought her to your house like he used to bring me, and no one told me? No. So people think like it's none of my business. Like, if my brother brings me someone saying this is my girlfriend, and he brings someone else, and he tries to bring the other one, I will tell her. But some people might not. So just because he introduced you to his family members or to people, you might not be safe. They might not even be his cousins. I'm not his mom, so I can't be his teacher. I agree with you. But that's what I'm telling you. Even if you listen in TikTok, when some women talk, this is why they have a clash with me. I get attacked mostly by men and women because they have this sort of conditioning that they never examined. You're not meant to be his mother. Literally, that's what they said. That's what they say. A woman is supposed to be like his mom. They would literally say that. And it just grosses me out, the fact that a grown man thinks that, they think that she should be like his mom. Like, not the way his mom was with his dad, but the way mom is with her child. So some men have those mentality. Not all of them, but some. Okay? So they're very traditional. They value traditional way of life, but they cannot provide what their fathers used to provide for our mothers. Back at home, a woman stays at home. The father or the man of the house usually does all the rents, and he pays for everything, and she doesn't go to work most of the times. Some of us do. Even back at home, there are women who do, but that's what they do. But here, they might not do that, but they expect to be given that status of a man who provides the bread, but they don't. Yeah, some of the women, they know that their husbands are cheating, and they accept them. Yeah, sorry, but I'm not raising a grown man. That's what I say too. But you will have some of these women, like in your circle, if there's a woman who grow up back at home, not all of them obviously, but that some of them have that kind of perception. They think that a woman should be able to take care of a man. If she's a real woman, she can change him. She can. We all know a man only change once, and for the ones he love. So some women waste their time and their money and their lives thinking that they're meant to be a good woman. They are meant to sacrifice all their needs and all their desires for this one man, and when he meets somebody else, he will leave. He will go. When he meets someone he loves, of course he's going to leave her, because if he truly loved her, he wouldn't have put her through the things that he have. But in our community, I am so sad, especially on social media. What I see is that it's such a confusing message toward women, because we don't date back at home much. You would do date, but it's not normal. Not everybody does it. Only people who live in a city, they might date in secrets, but not openly. And back at home, you have protection. The man, if he does something, there is law, there's a culture, there's people will talk about you if you do something to a woman. So the culture makes there's a pressure for a man to do the right thing back at home. But here have left the women vulnerable, and the men out of they feel uncomfortable. They feel disempowered, if you like, because they don't have their manhood. It used to depend on providing on women, but they can't provide now because it's difficult. They have no longer the women have more. If they have a babies, they get housing and stuff like that. So they feel a little bit threatened, I think, by their circumstances. So they have become more like, women have to be traditional. She can't put makeup, she can't do this, she can't do that. So you have to, guys, be careful. Yeah. And the message in our social media for the young women, because they don't know how to date, and I speak about dating, how to date. Don't bring men to your house, because what they will do is like, make us a coffee. She's dating him, but she'll bring him to her house to make him coffee. The date is at home making traditional coffee, and I'm trying to tell them, no, you don't know him. Meet him outside. If he can't buy you a coffee, if he can do small things, why would you want, he's not ready for children, he's not ready for family yet. So even if you love him and if you want to be with him, then you have to give it time to build your finances and, for him to build his life first. But because we don't know how to date back at home, we don't, dating is, a Western thing, that they don't know how to date, so they get confused in message, and they end up with a man who can't even afford his mobile contract. She's getting married to him. I'm like, but this guy hasn't even sorted out his life yet, and you're giving him a child thinking that he can be responsible. He can't even afford his phone bills. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Yes, there are men who even calculate how much child benefit the mom gets and don't feel like they have to chip in into the household expenses, let alone provide fully. Exactly, but I feel like it's our fault, meaning that not like the woman's fault, but we need education on how to date. I talk about dating all the time, and they think like, oh, you're horrible telling them not to have babies, not to get married. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that don't let men come to your house, you don't know him, get to know him thoroughly, then bring him to your house. Don't jump into bed with men, if you don't know him very well, and end up with babies, because we don't believe in abortion, we don't use the safety precautions, condoms, and things like that, because, she would be considered not a good girl if she does have those things in her house. So without the protection, without knowledge on how to date safely, we are participating in dating, you know? And then so many women end up getting pregnant after one night stand. So many women believe this guy is gonna marry me, but then before they get married, they have baby, and the guy just runs away. So I feel like in our community, I'm not talking back home, talking about in Europe, we need to talk about dating, what dating actually is. It's for women vetting, looking for love to see if this man is, good enough to be her husband, future husband, the father of her kids. This is what dating is for. It could be for casual encounters as well, but if it is, then you have to, make sure your health is protected, you are safe, you take care of your things. Welcome, everybody. Yes, I know, I agree. But that's what's happening now. They just have, they're young, they don't know anything. They just want to date, they want to have fun, they go partying, and then they end up pregnant. And the guy, he's not ready either. So he promised her, the world, and he can't provide nothing. So, but this is what I want to warn. I do this in Tigrinya a lot. I talk about this in Tigrinya, because I want the women to understand what dating is, and the men to understand what their responsibility is when they're dating. Of course, I'm not an expert, but from what I know, from what I have read, what dangers can come from it if you don't protect yourself. But I'm also doing it in English, trying to protect the ones who grow up here, who were born here, not to fall for something that even I experienced. It was a very short period of time, but you know, you know, this is a red flag. If this was a guy, he was born in England, a guy born in America was doing this, you will think like, this is no, this is a player, this is a red flag. But when it comes to a guy from my country, from Eritrea, sometimes you put your guards down, think like, oh, this is from my country, he's not gonna, he's not gonna lie to me. What? Mm-mm. A guy from your country will lie to you more than my experience. I was lied to more by a guy from my country than I was lied by guys from other cultures. So Hafte Nate Melsi Deleki. I have no idea what you mean, babes. Yes, they don't want to take responsibility. Apparently, what's happened now is that I get a lot of women call me and tell me how her husband had a baby. They have a baby together in Germany or somewhere else, and he would just leave and change a country. He'll have 2, 3 kids, and he will leave and go somewhere else. That's it. It's incredible. I don't know what's happening to us. I think maybe what it is to hold us responsible back at home is the culture itself, the way, whatever you do impacts your family members, your father, your mother, back at home when we do, like, when we get married or we have a support system, there's a system that makes everything work. But when we are in Europe, that protection for women is no longer there, and the pressure that used to be on men is not there anymore. They didn't learn to self-regulate themselves, so when they come here, they don't care. They will say to your face, "Wait, kisha hazot, wait, kisha genzab." So they will tell you all the lies. They can have a girlfriend. By the way, when they have a girlfriend, she might be living in her house. They live in their house. They could have a wife who lives in another house, like his neighbor, and he will tell you, like, I'm single. He could have 3 kids. He go to Ethiopia and get married to another woman while he have somebody else here as well. So that we have those sort of men. Of course, then it's not all of them. Obviously, that's clear, right? I'm not generalizing. That's not all of them, but this is happening a lot, especially long distance relationship where you never met the guy and you think, like, you know what? I'll give it a go. He's really into me. He really likes me. He wants to marry me. He wants to have a babies with me. If you are someone like me, you don't want none of these things. You've been there. You've done that. You might not fall for that. But for younger women who wants Eritrean guy, she wants Habesh guy, might be like, oh my God, I met someone so sweet, so kind. Yeah, he's talking to you when his wife is at work, So you better go where he lives, spend some time in his where he lives, and also find someone who knows him in his country, where he's at. Otherwise, hurt people. Yes, but also there are players who are bored and they think that it's a glory to have, 5, 6 different women. That makes you like, something. Salam everybody. Welcome you guys. Yes, we do. We do need a lesson on how to date. We do. I talk about it all the time. I wish if anyone here hearing me and you are a dating expert, please contact me so we can come and teach us how to date, because we Eritreans don't date back at home openly. Like in the cities, we do, like in Asmara, hiding. You don't do it openly. We need practice. We need to know, like, a woman needs to know when she's dating a guy, she needs to ask him questions, like where he's at, what he wants to do, where he's been, what it all that kind of things. Oh yeah, but they keep it secret. They like, let's keep it secret until until this, until that. And also you might find he has a friend, a girl who's a friend, in social media. I don't know if you've seen it. A couple of days ago, there was a guy dating this girl and told this social media influencer about what there was going on between the two of them, and they were bashing her on live, saying that how she's drunk and how is this, how the guy who's dating you might be telling people all kind of things about you. He might be sharing your picture with people, any private thing you might have together. It's just some of them are really scumbags. Some of them need to be brought in front of court, in front of a law, Yes, share it, please, especially to the ones who grow up here. Listen, I've been here for a long time, so you can let your guard down thinking that, oh God, guy is from my country. He's so sweet, so educated. The ones who are educated, they're the ones you need to watch out for. Okay, the ones who have degrees or any kind of things, those are the ones you need to watch out for. Trust me. Just trust me. Investigate thoroughly. Especially if it's long distance relationship, you better make sure you know someone who knows him, who lived there but who doesn't know him. Someone doesn't hang out with him. Just because he introduced you to his friends, or it doesn't mean anything. His women friends will lie for them. Incredible. If my friend guy, he meets someone, he introduced me in the phone, and I don't know, he's seen someone, I'll be like, no, I don't want to be part of that. But there are some women, I don't know why they will participate in covering up this kind of things. Yes, back at home, you never bring a man to your house. So I don't know why we think it's okay. I always say to women, don't bring men to your house for a date. If he wants to take you out for a date, if he's broke, he can't afford anything, the least he can do is buy you a cup of coffee, or I don't know, a soda, or maybe sit in the park and talk. It's okay if you want to, like, some of the men just arrive now, they might not have, much of anything, so it's okay, you might want to get to know someone, and and meet him outside. Don't bring them to your house, because it's not our culture. It's not our, like, for Eritrean women to bring a man to her house back home is no, no. If he does come to your house, it would be in Nigdet, when there's so many people or family members. Otherwise, why would you bring him to your house? It's not our culture. It will make you, some of them be like, oh, he's living with me but he's not paying rent. I'm like, what? The dude is living in your house, he doesn't pay for anything. I don't know why you thought that was a husband material. He can't provide you with nothing. He doesn't pay anything. He works and sends money for his family, but he doesn't pay for food. He doesn't pay for anything. He's using you. Obviously, that's clear. But our women are learned. They are thought to be humble. They are thought to be, like, kind and whatnot. And when they are being taken advantage of, they think they're persevering. They think that they're showing how good a person they are, how a good woman they are. That's not it. If he's not married to you, if there's no ring on your finger, if he doesn't provide you with what he's supposed to provide you with, why are you giving him all those things? He left Eritrea a year ago. You think now he's in Europe wearing Nike? He thinks like European men do? He doesn't. He will not think you are to be a good woman anyway. He will use you, and then he will leave. Long distance, I have learned with Eritrean men, never ever. Don't do long distance. Yeah, because we think like, oh, we are in Europe now, this is how, the other parts are living. So we're gonna date, we're gonna bring guys into our house, we're gonna do this. These men are Eritreans. These men are Habesh, you know? They don't value women. If you're gonna date Eritrean, they don't value any woman who dates a lot of guys. That's the truth. So if you given him a husband treatment before he's a husband, why would he want to marry you? Why buy the milk when he can get for free the cow? That's how they say it. When he can get the cow for free. Yeah. But I don't know. I love him. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care about money. Love. When you have kids and he's gambling, he's drinking, and you working, and he's beating you up or things like that, you got yourself into that because you didn't think long term. If he's not willing to give you all the things that a man should give, you shouldn't be giving him all the things that a woman should give. Simple as that. Yeah. Yes, 24/7, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Especially, I feel so sorry for the ones who grew up here. I met this girl. She was literally like crying from the four corners of her eyes. She was just crying. And she married this guy and she has kids, and you know, he doesn't support her. He doesn't help her. Like, she have kids, she wants him to babysit, help her, or do the shopping for food or something. None of that. None of that. And when she told people like how she was struggling, he wasn't supporting her. She gets shamagle, thinking that she can get help. People were like, now he's depressed because you're depressed. But she's the one with 2 or 3 kids running around, and people are concerned like how depressed he is because she's pressuring him to do things. She just couldn't believe it, the fact that that's what they would say to her, like, we have to be patient, you have to be kind toward him, you have to pretty much coax him, like, to do the shopping, to do the cooking, to help her this, to help her that. For me, I have no patience for this. I have no patience, and unfortunately we have women advocating for this kind of behavior. I don't blame the men, by the way. I do not blame the men in our community who are like this. It's not their fault. All their lives they've been raised by these pick me girls who talking nonsense. Even in social media, if you see them, like, oh, the good woman will take care of a man no matter what. She will stand by his side no matter what. She will do everything. She will make him into man. This, oh. Yep. Yeah, I know. It's the men you choose, right? We generalize. We're not generalize. We're not saying all of them. We already said we're not talking about the good guys now. There are great men who are, amazing men who I've met a few of them. There are good men in our community. We're not talking about the good men. We are talking about how to recognize the players. But there are gentlemen. There are great men in our community. But those ones you don't hear too much about because they are doing their lives. When somebody is living their life right and doing it right, we don't talk about them. The ones I always say, like, the difference between Eritrean a player and a real man is that the real man doesn't say much, but he shows you with his action. He's there with his action. And the player is usually poisoning your mind to make you think he's going to give you all this world and he can't provide one single thing, you know, in action. So this is how I separate. If you're dating an Eritrean guy, if you ask me, like, how do I know which one is real, which one is fake? Simple. The fake ones, he will chat too much. He will make you try to fill your head with the clouds, with the fog. The ones who's genuine one, he won't talk much. He'll show you with his action. He will go the distance with you. He will be there. He won't rush to get you to bed. Most Eritrean, the genuine ones, they won't rush trying to get to bed with you. They will take their time. They'll try to get to know you, ask you about family a lot, because family connection is very important to them. The ones who wants to get married, they want to know who your family are, where your family come from, and they want to know that kind of things. The ones who are like, I don't care who you are, I don't care about your past, I just want you, baby. Some of the comments are really fast, goes away. Yeah, but then how do you know who adores you for real? But that's what I've been saying. They will tell you like they're dying for you. They want to marry you. They want to have babies with you. So you have to take your time, and they give them the cookies. Take really your time. Take it easy. Be very slow, and then you will see which ones are genuine and which one aren't. If you can guys share the life and do like, that would be great. So yeah, the real issue at the moment is that because of the amount of freedom we have in Europe, and we're not used to it, going clubs and drinking, and this is not our culture. We're not exposed to those sort of things back at home. So now when, men, and the other thing I hate is when you meet someone online, what happens is when he comes to visit her, she doesn't know him. She only knows him on the phone. They might be talking, texting, and whatnot on the phone. When he comes to visit her, he comes to her house. He comes to her house. And this is the thing I say, get him to go in the hotel. He can go to a hotel. If you can't afford a hotel, get Airbnb, because they come to their houses and then things happen and she gets pregnant and she never sees him again. Some of them literally have girlfriends where they live or wives where they live, and they meet women somewhere else in Europe. Let's say if he's in Germany, he meets someone in Switzerland or whatever, and he goes to see her for the weekend. And then, yeah, he comes into her house. When someone is in your house, it could be difficult. Certain things can happen. So if you are in dating phases, keep him outside. Keep him outside of your house. That could help a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They don't. We're lost. This the world we live in is not ours. We don't know how to live it, but we are seeing like, oh, this is what white people do, or this is what but we don't take the steps they take to vet the men they're dating. We have red flags. That there are books. He's not that into you, and think like a lady, act like a man, or act like a man, think like a lady, or whatever. Those sort of books, you see on TV, you see what dating is. You can Google how to date a man, or but we don't have this in our culture. We don't know how. We just see that women and men are together in a cafe, and the young ones, I mean, they just try to do the same thing, and they end up, single mom. There are a lot of single mom in our community. There's a lot of unmarried babies coming, and there's a lot of women who having difficulty getting the men to participate in looking after the kid. So to be able to not have those things, we should be able to discuss, making love is part of us. we don't talk about it. Like when I say to women, make sure you have protection in your bags. If you are dating, then you should take responsibility for your, you know, sex life. Make sure you have protection in your house. Make sure you use condoms. Make sure you use birth control. If you say these things like, oh no, this is, hatiyat, this is sedinat, like, we are not educated in that way, how to take care of ourselves. But then again, things are happening, things are going on. So I feel like we really, really need to discuss it. $5,000 for his schooling and he went to ghost. Now he's marrying someone else. My friend gave a guy $5,000 for his schooling and he went ghost. Now he's marrying someone else. Oh my god. Helen, I'm so sorry about your friend. Yes, that happens. There are a lot of men and women playing, especially men are playing women, saying that I'm going to school. Some of them send them computers, telephones, and things like that, thinking that you find someone you love and he's working hard, and they tell you the sob story and you try to help, and yeah, that happens. Yeah, I'm so sorry for your friend. This is why I want to warn women who were born in this side, that there are ruthless people who are trying to use women, not just for sex, but for money, for anything, for a place to stay. Or obviously there are few of them, they're not many, but the ones that are like that, just be careful. And on women too, yeah, there are women too, yeah. Apparently there was this guy, Eritrean guy, dating this girl overseas. She was in Sudan and they met on Facebook or something, and he was like really into her. And then he discovered that her husband was sitting, it's like a business, her husband was here and she was pregnant from down here, telling him how much she loves him and everything. Apparently she's a married woman just using him for the money. It's very sad. It's very sad, unfortunately. Yeah, that's why I don't like anyone. Yes, just, at the end of the day, we always know when someone is not being truthful to us. We know, especially women. Don't be shy to say no. I don't feel comfortable. No, I need to get to know you better. No, I need. You can say no if you don't feel comfortable. Tasakifki or maybe comes. No, you can say no. I have a rule. No man comes into my house. I have lived over here for over 20 years. Like, men rarely ever see, if someone comes to my house, a man who's been to my house, who's been to my house? No one. But if they did, I always pretend like my cousin is living with me, my uncle is in my house, da 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 da. Sometimes I don't need to say that, but I do, just to be polite. I'm like, oh, I wish I could invite you, but my cousin is here, my uncle lives with me. And it's true, my brothers do live around me, but I'm a grown woman, I'm nearly 40, I don't need to do that. But just to be polite, I do that. I don't bring men to my house, because my house is my sacred space and my tradition and my culture. I'm not saying I don't go out and have fun, I do. But if I'm gonna have fun, we're gonna have fun where we're supposed to have fun. It won't be in my house. It won't be in his house either. So you can go to a hotel or something. Or you can go to his house as well if you want to, but he's not coming to my house. This is just my rule. You don't have to be like that, but it's my rule. Okay? No way before marriage, good. If you're like that, then good. But unfortunately, I can't lie, 21st century, people do go do stuff before they are married. But what are you expecting when you do that, though? Are you doing it for fun? Are you doing it thinking that he's going to marry you? What is it? Are you just doing it because, you wanted to have fun? That's good, but, just make sure you protect yourself, protect your health. Because I think even part of it is because women in our culture, they don't believe in casual encounters. That's why they lie, I think. That's why they're like, I want to marry you, I want to have babies with you, blah, 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 blah. Because they're not easy to get to begin with. So they have learned to be good liars, promising you the world. And but the good guys, if you meet, from my experience, I've met someone really good before. The ones who have been here for a long time, some of them are amazing. Honestly, if an Eritrean guy loves you and really wants to be with you, you will feel like a queen. He will treat you with love, respect. He'll take care of your family. He wants to know your family. There are some really, really good men in our community. But unfortunately, those ones are taken already. For me, I feel like that they are taken already. Yes, I don't think women understand in my culture what dating is for. It's like you're supposed to know him. What are his dreams? What are his values? Do your values align? Is what he's saying is true? Like, you know, you can ask him, are you telling me the truth? But like, see, in his previous relationship, if he has a baby mama, he never speaks. If he has a baby mama, he never sees his kids. Obviously, that's a red flag. If he has a woman in Ethiopia or somewhere and he's here and he forgotten her, obviously he's not a good guy to be with. You know, his past can tell you a lot. He might not be speaking to his baby mama, but if he's taking care of his children, or you know, if he take care of his family, then maybe he's a good guy, you know. So you have to make sure, like, dating is trying to, it's like interviewing someone. You're gonna hire somebody, you want to see their credentials, so you want to see who he is, what he is, you know. Name getting arranged marriage. Arranged marriage might be better at this point. At this point, like back at home, I wouldn't be worried too much. If I was dating someone back at home, I wouldn't be careful as I am in here in terms of vetting him, or if he tells me something back at home, probably he can't lie much because everybody knows everybody. You know, we're not talking about guys in Eritrea. Guys in Eritrea still, you know, there's a system back at home that's not allowed for this. If he was to mistreat you, of course there are back, you know, that kind of guys back at home as well. But back at home, if he does that, his family would be ashamed. He's, you know, there is things that stop him from doing that. But over here, there isn't. So over here, back at home, arranged marriage at this point might be better for everybody. If you arrange marriage, you know, family are the ones who are arranging these things. You may have to make it work, no matter what, no matter what, you know. But if you meet someone in Europe, I would vet him really, really well. I will make sure he says who he is. I will go where he lives. I'll see where he's at. I will see his friends, family, and all kind of things. If you want, you know, some serious committed relationship. And the one thing they really struggle with, I think, is immaturity. Some of them are really, really immature. They pretty much think the woman is supposed to carry him like a little boy. You're meant to be like, you know, talk to me like this, don't talk to me like that. And the woman is not meant to express her passion, her, you know, her feelings. If she says something, God forbid, you know. And there are enablers. There are women in our community, especially in social media. They make sure this man cannot be man. They are liars. They're pygmy girls. They're like, oh, the women are horrible. The women are this. Though they themselves are not married. They themselves have kicked their husbands out or their boyfriends out. And yet, so our social media is not filled by responsible people. They're older, like my age and above, and the things they say is awful. Yes, exactly. Trust action more than words. That's what I always say. And trust your instinct. The first time you meet someone, trust your instinct. Energy doesn't lie. But when somebody starts to talk, your mind could be manipulated. Your mind could be filled with, as I call it, with debana. You know, debana? The man, the more he talks, women can lose our instinct when someone fills your head with bullshit. So trust your first instinct, the first time how you felt about him or how you felt about her energy. What did you get? That first glitch, I really trusted. After that, also his actions. A man, if he really cares about you, we all know that. We all don't make excuse for him for the way he talks to you, for the way he does things. It doesn't matter what he was born. His manners might be different, but care looks like care. Love looks like love. So, you know, brain fog. Yeah, Debena, brain fog. Yeah. What's wrong with them in TikTok? You know, YouTube makes a lot of money. For example, me, I'm speaking in English now. There's 117 people. But if I was speaking in Tigrinya and I was gossiping or bashing someone, there would be like 700 people, even 1,000 people here. So unfortunately, they're providing what they think people want to hear. And hating on women, bashing women gets you a lot of audience, a lot of men audience. So the women who are bashing women, talking nastily about women, uh, they pick me girls, and they're doing it for business purposes. They want bigger followers, they want more gifts, and things like that. And some of the women, they just have internalized misogyny. They don't think much of themselves because they grow up thinking that they are meant to be catering to men 24/7. So they perpetuate that when they are here. They don't realize that, they're not supposed to be their mothers. They're supposed to have equal partner who stands with them. Of course, be compassionate toward him and him compassionate toward her. But they grow up thinking that they are meant to be a certain way. So when someone like me says, listen, you're not his mother, he should be fully, ready when he comes to relationship, at least emotionally and mentally. Financially, he might not be, because a lot of them, how they come, but at least emotionally and mentally should be ready to participate in relationship. At least he should be able to have, to communicate with you properly his needs, and and stand for his part. But they will bash you. They'll be like, no, woman is supposed to be this, woman should be doing this for her man, and this. And you're like, yes, woman can do all those things because she loves him and she cares for him, but what does he do for her? I love the blue color on you. Thank you, beautiful. Yeah, so be warned. Sanite Tesfai. Why do I feel like I know that name? Thank you, darling. So guys, yeah, if you are dating Habesha Eritrean men, just make sure you find the good guys. And the good guys are usually, they keep their words, their actions speak for them rather than their words. And if you grow up over here, don't drop your guards thinking that, oh, he's from my country, he's not gonna hurt me, he's not gonna harm me. There are players everywhere, and Eritrean players are the worst, and they will lie to your face because they believe, they believe kisha means, like, I don't know, what's kisha in English? Should we say a bag full of money or bag full of lies is what gets you a woman? That's what they believe. By the way, well, Dala, come to our platform. It is called Eritrean Society. We would love to sit you down and talk about this. So yeah, sure. Comment on this video later on so I can find you. Or contact me on Instagram. Some of them wear masks. Most of them wear masks, my dear. Most of them wear masks. I have a gift for you, Dalak. Haben Haftum. Sure. Contact me on Instagram. Obviously, I don't give my real information address, but I can give you an address that I give to people to send sick. Yeah, it's very sick. Yeah, but this is why I feel like, oh my god, some of them. One of my friends was dating this guy, right? This is true story. It was long distance. He told her he loved her, he wanted to marry her, all kind of things, and she has zero interest in marrying and having babies at the time. And she said, you know what, I'm not interested right now, but let's be friends and let's meet face to face and we will decide then. He was relentless how much he wanted her, how much he loved her, and he told everybody around her. And she has no interest. She was at the time going through some stuff and she wasn't ready for love. But anyway, he convinced everyone around her how much he loved her. So everybody was like, just give him a go, give him a chance. He's from your country, he's a good guy, he's educated and whatnot. And she thought, you know what, why not? I'll give it a go. He's long distance anyway, what harm can he do? Anyway, they talk. Everything was going great, she thought. Then she discovered that he had a living girlfriend. They lived literally 5-minute walk from each other, that he's been for years with. And another one who he introduced her as one of his friends, that he was dating long distance. And he was telling everybody how she's the one who's into him, how she wants him, how she she won't leave him alone, and she's a lot older than him, he doesn't really want her and whatnot. All alone while he was begging her to be with him. When she discovered, obviously she was heartbroken and she didn't see the point. She didn't see why would someone even do that. You know, why would someone beg me to be with him when I given him leeway saying, let's be friends? And, you know, being friends with her, he could have gotten whatever he wanted to get as a friend, but instead he was just, like, you know, he just playing her for fun. He was doing it for fun. And he had a girlfriend living with him for years, that he has a solid girlfriend, and he had someone overseas too. So she was heartbroken, of course, because she didn't want to open her heart. He begged her to open her heart, and she did. And the thing is, she knew it, he was lying to her. She felt it in her bones that he was lying, everything. When she told the people in the circle, she said, listen, guys, you're all saying to me how much he loves me, how much he wants me, but there are so many red flags. I know this guy is lying to me. And everybody thought she was being really hard on him. This guy has, you know, done everything he can from his side. He's just paranoid and whatnot. Later on, they discovered that he was just lying piece of nothing. Imagine that person was, she was going already through a hard time in her life, and this guy just literally begged her to open his heart because he couldn't live without her. And turns out he was just empty bucko lying to her. So there are that kind of too. They just do it for fun, just for the status, just to say I know her, I've been with her, kind of thing. Yeah, he's a narcissist. Yeah, not even immaturity, just narcissism, just like ego. She was a bit like, you know, away over his league, if you like. So he just wanted to get a yes from her so he can add it to his list, saying that, you know, one of the girls I played with. But karma will get him. That's what I said to her. Karma will get him. I have no idea. They are pure evil. Exactly, Helen. That's what I discovered them at. That's how I described him. I was like, you know what? When I heard all that, I was like, you know what? This is pure evil to me. To play with people's heart, you have to be the worst kind of scumbag, you know? Especially when there's no need for it. This person was friends with him. She would have, whatever he gotten out of her, he would have gotten it anyway, because she's a really good person and they were friends before, so she would have helped him whatever she helped him with. But he did it for fun. He did it for fun. He played her for fun. And he was telling other people how she's the one who was dying for him, how she's the one who wanted him. This is the kind of guys that we have. So you guys have to really, 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 like, make sure you know who you're with. He's funny. Yeah. And the problem was that he was very educated, you know, he's all this and all that, you know. And people think, like, you know, when someone's really educated in our community, they don't participate in this. This is what I found. The most educated ones are the most abusive, the most horrible ones, in my experience, in my friends' experiences. This is what I found. The Nahamade, we call them Nahamade, the young ones who just arrived, I think they're doing better. They are far more sane than the ones who've been here for a while, and then the ones in the middle. What goes around comes around, yes. It already happened to him probably, and it will come to him back. But this woman, she was just like left thinking, like, why? What was the purpose of that? What was his intention behind it? What did he get from doing that? Nothing. Just it boosted his ego for a minute, I think. What a buckle of a guy. Yeah, he's buckle. Why do the men that do this turn out like this? I think they might be narcissist. It's like ego thing, like, you know, especially if the woman is out of his league, and if he can get her to say yes, get her to fall in love with him, but then he knows he's not good enough, so he'll run away, he will walk away, you know. So he feels like, you know, he gets some sort of ego boost by it, I think. I don't know, because a lot of women, if you've seen them, they not, I get there are good ones too. We don't need to say this. I think it's obvious that are good men. We're talking about the bad ones, but yeah, they will push. They're the ones who don't want them. They will work so hard to get yes and to get them to fall in love. Usually it's like when they fall in love, some of them, even when they discover that this man is, you know, being treating her like shit, they get trauma bonded, so they can use them for whatever they want them, you know, for money or whatever. But in this case, it didn't work for him, but that's what they do. So they will make someone fall in love. The players, by the way, this is what they do. They will make you fall in love, then they will pull back slowly so they can trauma bond. It's quite strange. Like back home, the recipe is one recipe. He makes you fall in love, then he pulls back. Then he would want you to call him. Then he want you to ask about him. In every conversation I've had with women, this is what happened. First, he goes all the way. He's like trying to get her. He will lie, do anything. Then he will pull back. Once you agree, once you fall for him or whatever. So when he starts to pull back, don't go after him. Stop and pull back too. Because if he doesn't carry on doing what he's used to, then it must have been just a role play anyway. That's my experience, guys. This is what I think you guys should do, but it's not the only way, you know? Yeah. 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 Naughty love, yeah. I would say they are aliens who got lost. Possibly, possibly, possibly. We already been here 1 hour, you guys, you know? Time goes really fast. So yeah, if you're gonna date, you know, Habesha men, just make sure, you know, their words and their actions go together. And, you know, don't give, you know, if it's a husband, give him a husband treatment. If it's a boyfriend, give him a boyfriend treatment, you know? Value yourselves. If you value yourself, if you know your worth, then you won't let anyone play you, you know? And they get the cookies. Oh, it's not just the cookies. Didn't you see one of the ladies who wrote here? Until they get the money too. She said she gave him 5,000 for his education, then he ran away from her friend using that money to marry someone else. Yeah. Another woman I know, she gave him money for something he asked her, and he used his girlfriend and her kids to go to bowling. I've heard so many stories. It's not funny, it's painful, but the audacity, you know what I mean? Aliens. Yeah. Literally, she thought she had a boyfriend, and he asked her for something, you know, he asked her to lend him money for something, and she did, and then he took his girlfriend with her children bowling with her money. I will never date, I'm done. You know what, guys? Go back home. Go to Eritrea. Date men in Eritrea. There are good men in Eritrea. They are in the military. They are like, you know, go back home. Go in Eritrea. Date there. Yes, they don't. Helen, engineers, you know, whatever degree they might have, they use it. Oh, I can't say all of them, obviously. I can't, but there are a lot of those. You just have to be careful. They don't post pictures because they have very submissive wives sometimes, you know. They like, I don't want you to be in social media. I don't want you to be this. So it's better for them to hide it. They don't post anyone's social media. So, yeah, the good guys, you know, they'll have on Facebook their family, their wife's picture or whatever. And this is what happened once to a friend of mine. This guy, she was seeing in his profile, he had a woman's picture. This woman is the woman who's dating. She lives with him, but he told her this was his auntie who has helped him when he was traveling through Sahara. She paid for everything for him. He loves her so much, and he had her picture on his on her profile. It was the woman who was dating in his profile picture. And he told the other girl that this was his auntie who lived in Saudi Arabia, who has sacrificed so much for him when he was traveling through the Sahara. She paid for him for everything. So he has her picture in her profile. Later on, she discovered that this was a girl who's his girlfriend. Like he left it, like, you know. Yeah, so have self-worth, you know, like, you know, if you grow up over here, you probably know how to date, but the one thing we make a mistake with is, I feel like, it's when you let your guard down thinking that this guy is from my country, he's not gonna hurt me. He will drag you through the mud. So be careful, ladies. Yeah, in a Habesha dating show. I do. I do try to talk to them. I do, and I get I get a lot of backlash from it. I get a lot of hate for it, for speaking up. And guess what though? Who attack me the most? It's the women who attack me. You know, it's the women who pick me girls. We have unfortunately a lot of insecure women in our community. It's not their fault, you know. It's the way they were raised. You know, if you don't educate women, and you know, they try to be clever in a way to find a man, and the way they do it is that they bash you when you speak the truth. They, some of them, they think you're insulting them, even when you're not. You know, you're just trying to tell them that they're worth far more than they've been given, or you know, that they should do this or do that. They think you're trying, you know, you're like know it all. No, I've just been here for over 20 years and I know how to date. You know, I've well, at least I know how not to, you know, get played, you know, even though I might not be dating expert, you know. So when you try to talk to them on how to do it, or how to avoid certain things, or how to protect your, you know, sexual health or anything like that, I get bashed. I get pulled by my hair by women like me, you know, because internalized misogyny is real. It's real. Insecurity, some women have a lot of insecurities because they don't think they're worth anything unless they have a man. They are willing to do anything to be with men. So yeah, I'm trying, and you know, guys, make video, speak up, let's have discussions, let's have conversations, you know. And there are bad women as well as good women, you know, as well as bad women and bad men. But the for me, when the women, the way they behave, the woman is, for me, it's easy to recognize it, what they're doing. That the only way to find men is they have to pretend to be what they are. They're not even like that, because some of them just use them, have babies or whatever, and throw them out. They literally would throw them out at the house. But then again, for the guy, when a woman is being honest and express herself, they want to shut her down. So they cannot recognize which one is real, which one is just playing them for what she wants. And the ones who are playing are the ones who get what they want. The genuine, honest women, you know, they don't play that kind of role, that submissive, oh yes, you're the man, you're the king, you know, oh my god. A man has to be treated that way. A man has to be massaged when he comes in. A man has to be treated. This is the kind of performance that I hear, and I'm like, cringe. So the real women are not finding what they need. It was American Dating Show. Oh, yes. American, I find this in America. They're like, oh, the women are too masculine. They have to be to raise 3 kids by themselves. Women, they don't become masculine by choice. They become masculine because they have to take care of their kids because the man is not there. You know? Yeah. Healing, yeah. Yeah, we do. But, you know, healing comes from honesty. If you're not allowed to be honest, if you're not allowed, let's say, I always say, like, but they're like, well, how are we going to get women? Kisha hasot wake kisha ganzab. It's like, honestly, they would say it right in the open. They would tell you, like, yeah, when I discovered some guy's lying, or when my friends discovered, they're like, but he lied to me, how can he do this? The women were not like sympathetic toward her. They were like, oh, you should have known he's gonna lie to you. It's like you meant to expect him to lie to you. I didn't know. I grew up in Eritrea. I had a boyfriend in Eritrea. No one lied to me. So it's not Eritrea. I don't know when it came. Maybe I've been far away. Maybe I've been away for too long. I don't know. Back at home, I've never been lied to. You know? But here, they were like, yeah, men are liars. Like, that much? To the point where he says, like, I want to marry you, I want to have babies with you, when he doesn't have any intentions whatsoever? Yeah. Do more of your exposing videos. Yeah, but you know, the women, some of them are very brave. You know, they have been hurt so badly, and they come here and expose the man. And it does help for women who are willing to learn, for men who see the suffering and the pain it brings their lives. But those women, when they come and expose men, they also get a lot of backlash for speaking the truth. So, sometimes I'm like, should I or should I not? I get a lot of backlash. Yeah. So, guys, yeah, we've been here for an hour and 10 minutes. Usually, my program is for 1 hour. I hope this helps. I'm no expert in those topics. I just talk about my experiences and opinion. Obviously, we can't generalize. We're not speaking of all Habish men. There are great men as well as, those sort of players. But today was warning kind of discussion to warn women, especially who were born in this side of the world, and women who just came from back home to realize that there's no one to protect you here. That you have no uncle, you have no father who's going to vet this man. So it's your job to vet them. One of the things you can do to protect yourself is don't bring them to your house. Meet them outside. If I can't buy you a cup of coffee, if he can't take you out on a date, don't select him to be the father of your kids. If he can't pay for his phone bills, why would you choose him as a man? Like, as women, we are delusional to think like, oh, it doesn't matter money. He loves me and I love him. It does matter. Finance does matter. It does matter, because if something happens, you has to be able to provide. It's very hard. Yeah. Thank you you guys, and thank you for coming. And for the men, if you're watching this, if you are a real man, this is not for you. If you are a genuine man, this is not for you. This is for the players that you are burning your sister's hearts. If you want a casual thing, let them know. Be upfront. Be like, what, I'm not ready for a relationship, but I like you. Let's get to know each other. Let's have a coffee. Be honest. Honesty is priceless. So be honest, you guys. Thank you, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Every Friday, if you say continue in English, you can suggest topics you want to discuss. Next time, I will give you my phone. The other phone is dead. I have no battery, but next time I will give you a phone so you can ring in and give your thoughts and your opinion. And share this English program. Is the second time I'm making the videos in English only. Share it in your Facebook or share it in places with your family and friends. It can help. And you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and share and like the videos. Okay. Eritrean society. This. Okay. I will check you out. I'll check you out. Is it Instagram that you have written me? I will do that. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it that you've given me your time. Share, like the video, and I'll see you next week on Friday. We will come back with different topic. You can write in the comments what kind of topics you like me to bring in English, and we will talk about it. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great night. Bye bye. Have a great weekend, actually. Thank you.